Hi everyone, today is lecture number 4 of our cow versus butcher game. And last time what we did was we created an abstract class level and then level 1, which looks like this. Hopefully nothing has broken here since the last lecture. And what we're going to be doing today is level number 2, which has a lot more things in it. I think it looks cooler as well. So yeah, this is it. We have the sauce, we have the steak going around, throws blood, and we also have, this was from 2 lectures ago, this is the bones and the blood and so on that we created in our killer collection. Alright, so last time I wrote a class which we did not use, but we are going to be using in our current level. And let me just open up the PowerPoint presentation so that we can have a look at what we have to do today. So, somewhere down here, yeah. Alright, so we're not going to be doing the cow or the power-ups or the buttons, but what we're going to be doing is this level 2. And let's see what are the items that we have to do. So first of all, we have a background, which I don't know if you can see well. We have clouds, we have a blue background, we have some mountains, so there are 2 layers of these. We have the ground, which we've already done last time, but it's a different picture this time. We have the bird, which is going to be slightly trickier to do. We have grass here, which is separate from the ground. I don't remember why, but this way it looked better. I don't know, we just put it separately. And then we have like a rock here. And then we have a tree. So the first couple of things that I mentioned, the sky, the background, I think the mountains, I'm not sure, the grass as well, those are all parallaxing backgrounds, which we've done last time, and it will be very, very easy to put those to work. The harder thing is to create rocks which would spawn somewhere around the screen, order them correctly, and then this tree here, which is of the same class. So this class is called background item, and it's very, very simple. Let me zoom in. So we just have an item, we change, so we move it from right to left, and we just add a specific image. So that's all. Like it's very, very simple. The harder thing would be to decide when and how often to spawn these things, but they're very, very similar to what we did with the steak, so I hope that that's not going to be a problem for you. Right, so let's create a class which is going to be called bird. So let me just see here. So here first we will create the bird, which is the only new thing as in like a helper class that we have to do today. And after that, we'll just build up our level, and it's gonna look really, really cool with the parallaxing backgrounds, which are definitely more than level 1. So let me delete that. Let me zoom in. Let me go into the index HTML and add that here. So I want to add bird.js, and let's write this class. So module cow versus butcher, inside export class bird, and in here of course we want to have a reference to the game, phaser.game, sprite, phaser.sprite. This will be the sprite of the bird. After that we have velocity, which is number, and at this point I always remember to add the reference to phaser. Right, what do we have after that? Okay, so here we have a couple of things which are needed for the movement of the bird. So how is it gonna move? Let's draw the screen. I wanted to make it move something like this, like a wave. I did not draw that very well, but just imagine a wave. But you know, just at random. You know, a couple of things are at random here. And last time I think I explained about the sine function, and this is what we are going to be using. But a bit more complicated than what we did with the rotation of the stakes. So this time we are not going to touch the rotation of the bird. The only thing that we need to change is the y position of the bird. So we need it to be in between some values and to move, you know, either more smoothly like this, or a bit more like this, just depending on those random values that are right now. Okay, so we have so this will be bird movement, I don't know, numbers, or I don't know. Okay, and here we have period, which is going to be a number. We have period increment, which is also going to be a number. So if you remember last time when we did the stake, we had this very small number here, rotation constant speed, which is really small, and this number was how much do we need to increment our rotation at each update. So this is something similar. This like sort of the speed of the bird. This number here, and we'll need amplitude as well. So this is going to be number here, and the amplitude on our sine function shows how big. Let me draw with red. How big this distance is. I think that's how I've done it. If not, then I'll rename this. Okay, and I think I'm not using this specific variable, but oh yeah, actually I do. So blood thrown, which is going to be boolean, and we just want to throw blood once when the where is my screen? So the bird just randomly spawns. You can think of it as just a part of the background. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. It's just a fun element that I added. So this bird spawns from here, flies in, hits the saw, and there is like blood and feathers coming out. It's actually quite funny, I think. So yeah, this is what we want to do. So this boolean here that I just added is going to show us if we've already thrown blood for the specific bird. So yeah, okay, constructor, and inside we want to have game phaser.game. Key string, this is similar like a key to the image that we'll be using. Velocity, which is going to be number. Y, which is going to be a number. Where do we want to spawn vertically our birds? Somewhere around here, or maybe down here. We'll see, probably up here though. Then we have group, phaser.group. And we would like to add the bird to the specific group for the level 2. Alright, so in here, this.game equals game, standard stuff. This.sprite equals this.game dot add sprite. And in here, this.game dot width. So we want to spawn it at the furthest right of the screen with the Y that we have, and in here we would also like to have so I added bird here, which is kind of weird. Just give me a second to see that. I think it should be key, but I'm not sure. I guess that's that. Just give me a second, pause. Right, so let's get back to it. I wanted to show you the bird, which has an animation. So let me go into graphics and then game, and then I have no idea what that is. Okay, bird in particles. Interesting. So this is the animation. It's very simple with its JSON. I'm not gonna go into details over that. I think we did it in the second lecture. Just so that you know that we're not adding just an image, but an animation. So let's get back to the bird, which is where right here. Okay, so we've added the sprite. Now we have to add animations to it. So this dot sprite, sorry, group as well, I guess. Yeah, and this dot group. Sorry, just group. All right. We have this dot sprite dot animations dot add, and in here we want to say the animation is going to be just fly, and let me list all of the frames that we are going to be using. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and we want to play that with 30 frames a second. There is an easier way. Yeah. Here, yes. Phaser.animation dot generate frame names. Yeah. And this takes some parameters. Okay. Prefix. So you should check your JSON. I should check my JSON. I'll do that now. I didn't know this. I was always adding them by, just by. So where was my JSON in graphics, in game, in particles, and bird? This thing. Okay. Let's get back to bird. Put it in here, I guess, as a string. Is this gonna work? No. Yeah. Is it not zero? Zero frame? 0, 10. Is that it? Ah, yeah. 0, 0, 1? Oh, let me pause. Right, so what we want to put in here is this one here, and this 11 here, and that's gonna work up apparently. This would make my life a lot easier when I was writing the cow, but anyway, so 11 and suffix dot png, 0 pad 4. What is that? 0 pad? Oh yeah, because we have a couple of zeros here. In this case, there are 4 spaces where we can put the number. All right, I didn't know this, and I'm sure that it's gonna work. But let's check, when we start doing the level. All right, so this dot sprite dot animations dot play, and in here we'll just say fly. And here I want to say null true, which is going to be for repeating or loop. Alright, what else do we want to do? I want to set the anchor, so this dot sprite.anchor dot set at 0.5, 0.5. And I also want to have the scale, because if you saw, it was turning right and we wanted to turn left. So yeah. This dot sprite dot scale dot set -1 1, so this is turning it left. Also we want to set the velocity. This dot velocity equals velocity, and I guess this dot period equals 0, so we start with 0, Then we have this dot amplitude, and now more magical numbers that I'll show you once we have the bird moving. This dot amplitude equals RNG 0 to 7, and we have just 1 second. Okay, and we have this dot period increment, which is going to be again a smaller number. It's going to be RNG 0.15 up to 0.2. Okay, so period is what we are going to be changing, or the value inside the sine function. So if you have sine of x, period is this x inside, and we want to change that with some fixed value so that we can get an actual movement. And this is just a random number to say how fast we wanted it to move up and down. And we have the amplitude, which shows, you know, how the vertical deviation of the top and bottom of our bird. So the top point is going to be up here, the bottom is going to be up here, and we would expect our bird to move between these two values. All right, and what else do we have? We have this dot blood thrown equals false. All right, the update is a bit more interesting. So update, and we would like to take killer collection inside, which is of type killer collection. Of course, I want to have a reference to that as well. So this is very, very similar to what we did with the steak, where at some point we would like to throw blood and probably change the souls as well. So this is very, very similar, and this is why we have in the update we have this killer collection. All right, so let's get in here. What do we have? So first of all, we want to move it left. So this dot sprite dot position dot x minus equals this dot velocity. What else do we want to do? I'll leave this line. So this dot amplitude. Actually, let's do it now. So this dot sprite dot position dot y equals this dot amplitude times math dot sine this dot period plus this dot sprite dot position dot y. And now decipher this line of code in a bit. Then we want to say this dot period plus equals this dot period increment. All right, so let's see what's going on here with this specific line of code. Do you understand this one, where I have to increase the value with just a little bit at every single update, which is in here? So this is like my sine of x. If I have sine of x, this is my period in here, which has to change, you know, so that we get a smooth motion. All right, let's write something else in here, and let's make a times math.sine. I think I'm repeating myself, but it's never bad to repeat math. And then plus something, let's say plus k. All right, so what is a and what is k? So I think I mentioned this last time, so sorry if you know this or something, but I just want to say it again. So if you don't have this a, the sine function is going to be between 1 and -1. Okay, it's going to be here and here. And our function is going to be something like this, the sine one. Actually, this is not true. I'm sorry, it starts from here, from the center. So here, like this. All right, and yeah, it goes back to minus as well. All right. So what do we want to do when we want to make, you know, this this amplitude to be slightly bigger? We just multiply it by some number. In this case, if I multiply it by a, it's gonna increase up to you know, the value of a, and down here to minus a. Okay, is that clear enough? Multiply 1 by a and you get a. That's pretty much it. And then what does this k do? Well, this is so this thing is gonna, well, in maths it's called translate the function by a vertical vector, but let's not call it that in this case. So what this is gonna do is just gonna move the whole function up or down depending on the value of k. And in this case, this is our starting point for the bird. So let me draw that now here. Let me use red, I think. So yeah, the bird is here. Okay. And at each step, I am adding some value, which is this value that I just explained, to my original sprite y. Okay, and it's gonna move from this starting point. It's gonna move up and down, up and down, up and down this way, with the values that I've just created. So the amplitude is an RNG between 0 and 7. So you can either get, actually this is not it. What am I? Yeah. So yeah, the amplitude is gonna be either, you know, very very smooth if it's closer to 0, or a bit bigger if it's closer to 7. Is that sort of all right? Okay. Yeah. So our bird is going to be moving at random. Yes, there is a question. Is it possible for the amplitude to be 0? Is that when we take RNG from 0 to 7? Or what do you mean? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible, but this just so yeah, the question is it possible for the amplitude to be 0? Well, if it is 0, then this whole thing is going to be 0, and then our bird is going to be moving in a straight line, as much as I can draw a straight line. Yeah, but 0 is very very unlikely to happen. Yeah, so the question is more like, why do I start from 0 here? Well, it's almost never gonna be 0, and if it's, you know, close to 0, I'll just have a very, you know, smooth flight, and it's not gonna be like very very close to 0. If you don't like this, again, these are some magical values that I found to be working. We can just change them, and, you know, from 1 to 7, or from 2 to 50,000. I don't really mind. Okay, what else do we have in the update? Okay, we also want to throw blood, I guess. That's always a good thing to do in this game. So if this dot sprite dot position dot x less than or equal, so something similar to what we did, or more like the same as what we did with the stake. So this is going to be, and we have not thrown blood yet. Only then we would like to throw some blood. So killer collection dot blood emitter dot start. I want to start it at 5080. Those are coordinates. Then we have explode, which is going to be true. And this is lifespan, say 800, and quantity of, let's say, 50, because it's a small bird. All right, and then throw some feathers as well. So killer collection dot feather emitter. Have you seen this? I think I've shown it in one of the previous. Yeah. So this is where it comes up in the game, basically. Start, and I want to start it at the same place. 5080 true. Lifespan a bit more. And let's throw 5 feathers, or, you know, we can always do an RNG of how many we have and so on, but I think 5 is fine. All right, and then we want to change the souls as well. So killer collection dot first soul dot change to bloodier image, and killer collection dot second soul dot trigger soul. Right, and that's the whole class. So the only tricky thing here is very similar to the stake class, but the only tricky thing here is this math function here. I don't remember, so I have them in my code in one way, and I have them here in another order. Let's see what we did with the souls. Sorry, with the stake. So we have first and third. Yeah, so I'll change that to first and third. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, is everything clear? So the only tricky thing is this line of code, and if you're into maths, if you do maths in your sleep, and when you wake up, then this is going to be the easiest thing from the whole class. Is that clear though? Okay, let's keep on going. So let's create a level 2, and you'll see how quickly that is going to happen. Because we have everything that we need, so everything updates in its own class, and it's is going to be very easy to do. The only harder part is going to be generating all of the elements that are generated at random. So we are going to be doing that very similarly to what we did with the stake here. It's not here, it's here, like spawn stakes. We'll have something similar for the trees, the rocks, and the bird. So it's a bit more code, but it's like a repetition of something that we did last time. So hopefully that's not going to be too hard. So let's create a TypeScript file, which is going to be called level 2. So this time I'll add my reference right now. I'll add it to the index.html level 1, and in here level 2. And we can start coding. So where is that level 2? Right, module cow versus butcher, export class level 2 extends level. And very quickly, what was in level? Okay, we have game, we have background, ground, level, group, and we have some physics and stuff like that that we have to do as well. And we have an update which comes from the more abstract class. So yeah, we have a lot of things that are already written, and actually we don't have to add that many. Okay, so we have game, which is phaser.game. We have background, which is parallax background, and I have to add a reference to that as well, like now or not, because it's in level. I don't know, I don't understand these references. Okay, so mountains front, which is going to be also parallax background. We have mountains back, which is also going to be parallax background. What else? We have grass, which is the same. Okay, and now we have some variables which correspond to what we did with the stake in level 1. So we have the collection, and we have the random stake spawn time as well. Actually, do I need to have the background? I don't think so, because I already have it here, which is quite interesting. Why do I have it here? I'll comment that for now, and if something doesn't work, then I'll uncomment it. Alright, so so rock collection is going to be array of background item, which we don't have reference to. Okay, we have, what else do we have? We have random rock spawn time, which is just going to be a number, and we have two more which are pretty much the same. So let's do that. Let's be lazy and copy paste a bit of code. So this, and now, oops, now I would like to change this to be tree collection, and I want this to be random tree spawn time. I want this to be bird and random bird spawn time. And I don't see what the problem is. Duplicate identifier rock. Well, it's not rock anymore. I guess that will fix itself up. I don't know. Alright, and what is it that we need to do? Constructor game phaser game, and inside here I want to call super, which is just going to take game. And what is it in the super class? Well, it's the same, so it doesn't really matter. But I think if I don't use super, I get an error. Yeah, here. Can I zoom that in? Missed super classes invocation. And yeah, so you have to do that. I don't know. I don't think. Did you have to do this in C#? I don't think so. In the constructor. At least you were not obliged to. It depends, right? Maybe my memory. I don't know. Don't remember C#. Been a while. All right. And then the more important thing is in the create. So let's get in here. This dot level group. So remember that each level has its own level groups, so that it's a lot easier to change between levels. Equals this dot game dot add group, and this dot background equals new parallax background, and inside here we want to say this dot game. The key is sky, and it's gonna move at 2.5 pixels. Per update. Where do we want to place it? So the way the image is drawn, so let me go into game backgrounds level. Yeah, so this is the sky. I don't know if you can see anything. We have clouds here. At least I cannot see on my PC. Can you see the clouds? Okay, so we have clouds here. And so I decided to move it slightly up so that we don't have that many clouds, because we have mountains and so on. So I just decided to move it slightly up. While we are here, let's have a look at our other images. So we have tree, we have rock 2, we have rock 1, we have mountains. This is these are the front ones, so I think, or these are the back ones. Let me have a look. Yeah, these are at the back. They're lighter, and these ones are at the front. Then we have grass, which is nice, and we have the floor as well. So yeah, that's pretty much that for the images. Okay, so we have sky. We want to place it at -100, so I said slightly up, and we want to add it to this dot level group. And the next couple of lines are pretty much the same. So this dot mountains back equals new parallax background, and inside here let me just check in with the values. This dot game mountains back. The speed is 0.5 that I've chosen. Y is at 200, and this dot level group. I guess the next one is going to be fairly similar, so let me just copy this line and just say mountains front. Let me go in here and change this to mountains front as well. And what else? Since they're at the front, and they're closer to the user or to the screen, if you want to think of it this way, they are going to move slightly faster to create that parallaxing effect, and they are going to spawn at 300 in the Y axis. We add them to this dot level group. Okay, what else is there? Okay, we need to initialize our collections. So this dot tree collection equals empty array. This dot rock collection equals empty array, and this dot bird collection equals empty array. And we want to give for the spawn time the same thing that we did with the stake spawn time last lecture. We want to record the current time of the game, and then we want to spawn after some time. So this is what we want to do. So this dot random tree spawn time equals this dot game dot time dot now. This dot random rocks spawn time this dot equals this dot game dot time dot now, and the same for the bird. Okay, that was about that. Let's add the ground as well. My code is a bit mixed up. I'm sorry. So this dot ground equals new parallax background. This dot game, I assume the key is grass, and the speed, since this is very close to the user, and this is where the cow will be running, so it has to be faster. So with the speed 8 and the y is 570. Sorry? No, this is the grass. Oh yeah, sorry. So I have to say this dot grass here. Probably I mixed up some lines of code, but I'll do the ground next. I think so. Grass, and add it to this dot level group. Okay, level group, and copy this line of code, and it's absolutely the same for the ground. I think the ground is slightly higher, slightly lower. So let me change that. So this is gonna be, what's the key? Floor, outdoor. The speed is the same, and it's slightly lower. Okay, and we add it to this dot level group. At the end here, I have to say super dot create, I think. Okay, or maybe at the top, I'm not sure, just give me a second. So level, we want to have, no, that's fine, at the end is fine. Okay, so level 2. Now I think what's left is to go into the update. I'll write in a couple of functions here, update, and we'll fill in the gaps once we do. So first we want to call super.update, which updates the background and the floor. Inside here I have to give killer collection or not. Yes, I have to give it killer collection, I think. Killer collection of type killer collection. Yeah. So super.update. Alright. This dot mountains back dot update. This dot mountains front dot update. This dot what else do we have? Grass dot update. And we are gonna have 3 methods. This dot update trees. This dot update what else do we have? Rocks. And this dot update birds. And inside here we have to give killer collection. Alright, but before we go into all of these, which are quite long methods, I think, or at least that's how they I see them. Let's try and actually play the level as is right now, so that we can see what we've done so far. So let's go into game, which is down here. Let me close in these graphics here. Game objects, we don't need them. And okay, that's fine. So let me zoom in, and let's create level 2, which is gonna be here. So this dot level 2, which I have to add up here. I have to add a reference, I think, as well. So this dot level 2 equals new level 2. This dot game, and we want to say this dot level 2 dot create, and this dot current level we just want to say equals this dot level 2. And if we've done everything correctly, and when I do these kinds of things I never even imagine that it's gonna start from the first go, but let's have a look anyways, and let's pray that it's gonna work. loading, play, and yeah, it looks nice, I think. So we have the ground, we have the grass, and I think the grass is drawn behind the ground, which is something that we are gonna fix. But other than that, you see how the front mountains are moving faster, the ground is moving even faster, and this is what creates this parallaxing effect. So yeah, this is what we did, and to remind you with just a couple of lines of code, because everything in that level 2 is just creating and updating. We haven't done anything special, right? Nothing complicated for now. All right. So we said that we have to bring the grass to the front of the ground, but I think everything else is fine. So you see how here we don't see the grass, and if you look at so let me zoom in probably if you can't see this. So you see how it's like behind, and in the screenshot that I have, it's at the front. So let's see if we fix that, if it's gonna work better now. Yeah, and now if I zoom in, there. Alright, I suggest a short break, after which we just have 3 methods to write, and I'll write a method. So instead of having it this way in a game, let me close that here. So instead of changing the levels this way, I will create a method with a nice effect that is gonna change from 1 to the second, and we are gonna test it with just a click of a button to see if we can change levels, quickly inside the game. So I think I had to mention, but my idea for the game is, since we don't have that many levels, we only have 2. And this is an endless runner. I thought that it would be a good idea to after you've made some kills, after you've made some butcher kills, say 50, then you get to the next level, which is slightly harder. Then you get back to the backgrounds of level 1, and it's slightly harder as well, and so on. So I want to have a nice method which is just going to change those mid-game. While you are playing, we want to be able to change the levels straight up. So yeah, let's have a short break and then we'll finish. Right, let's get back to the code, and we left off at level 2, where we had to make these 3 methods. So let's start with the trees. So let me just find the method. There it is. So update trees, and what is that? I'll uncomment this, and once we do them, I'll show you, and then we'll go to the next method. All right, so let's first spawn them, and the logic is the same as with the stake here that we did. Actually, that was in level 1. So okay, so let's revisit this, because it's very common to me in game. So we record the current time here. So this is the game right now. And we check if enough time has passed from the last spawn time, which we've recorded. Then we want to update it to somewhere further in the timeline by an RNG of some seconds. So we record now. We spawn a tree. So this is my picture of a tree. And then after some time, so this is in the positive time. So we set at this point, we set we want to spawn tree after say 7 seconds here. Okay, and after we do that, we reset and so on. So this is basically what we are doing here, and we are gonna use that in all of the methods that we have to write now. Okay. Okay, so we have if this dot game dot time dot now is bigger than this dot random tree spawn time. What is it that we want to do? Well, first we want to reset this dot random tree spawn time equals this dot game dot time dot now plus, and I've decided between 1 and 5 seconds is a good way of spawning our trees. So RNG from 1 to 5 times 1000 because this is in milliseconds, and we have to multiply it by 1000 to make it a second. Alright, what is it that we want to do after that? Okay, so now we want to spawn the tree, so we say var tree equals new background item, which is the first time that we're using this. I think the stake had a very similar logic, but we wanted it to rotate, so that's a bit simpler. Actually, to be honest, now I got the idea that we should have done the background item as an abstract class, and maybe the stake and the bird will be classes that inherit properties from it, because the only thing that we change pretty much is something in the update, but pretty much everything else is the same. They all move from left to right, from right to left, and so on. But I haven't done this. It's a good idea once you notice something similar between your classes, then to use that. So I didn't, but it's a good idea to have actually done that. But anyway, so we have the background item and the tree. What is it? I lost my line. So yeah, this dot game. We have tree that we want to spawn, and then the speed is 4, so slightly slower than the foreground. Number y is 595, so slightly lower than the ground and the grass. And we want to add it this dot level group to be able so that we can display it properly. Also, we want to add it this dot tree collection dot push tree. We want to add it to the collection so that we can update all of them at once, so that we don't need to create separate instances or put them as properties of the class and so on. So we just create them once and then we push them to the tree collection. And the magical method, which I think I showed you last time, this dot level group dot add child at, and inside here we say tree dot image and add it at layer number 6. I think I explained this last time. Yeah. Does anyone have a question about this? This is the magical method that really works, and I'm very happy that I found it. Okay, anything else that we want to do here? No. And remember how last time, how in the other class I separated the logic of spawning and updating. Now I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do it all at once, because otherwise we'll have 6 methods and they're pretty similar. There is no reason to flood this class with methods, and it's not that big anyways. It doesn't need splitting. Alright, so we want to go through each tree and we want to do the same thing as last time. So if it goes outside of the screen, we want to clear it, and we want to remove it also from the array. So to do that, we say this dot tree collection dot for each, and in here we say tree. And in here, if tree dot image dot position dot x is less than or equal minus tree dot image dot width. So if it goes outside of the screen to the left, so this is our screen, and it travels there, and if it goes around here, I'll draw my magical tree here. So if it goes outside of the screen, then we want to destroy it, and this is what this line is. Okay, so what is it that we want to do then? We want to say tree.image.alpha equals 0 and tree.image.kill. The reason why I don't destroy them here and remove them from the array is because in the for each loop I will change the number of elements in my collection. So this is why I want to do it separately. Otherwise, especially if it was C#, I would get an error. But in here, I don't know if I'll get an error because JavaScript is weird sometimes. It may work, it may not, you never know. So yeah, I decided to do it separately, and the flag that I should destroy a tree is its alpha, which is set to 0 in this case. Alright, and after this is done, or just before that, we also want to say tree.update, right? We want to update all of our trees. Okay, and what else do I want to do? I want to remove them. So if this dot tree collection of 0, if it is there, I mean if we have an element pushed into the collection, and this dot tree collection of 0 dot image dot alpha equals 0, then we want to just say this dot tree collection dot splice 0 to 1, and I guess that's the whole method. Okay, do you have any questions about it? No, everything is fine. So since the next 3 methods are very, very similar, I don't want to waste time on the video, so I'll just do them real quick, and I'll play the video again so that we can see what the differences are. I can tell you straight away, it's probably going to be the speed, the Y, how often we spawn them, but it's going to be pretty much the same thing over. Yeah, I could have done a method, spawn items, and it will have to take, time and so on, but I didn't want to complicate things, put those in a single method. So yeah, I'll just pause now, and you see it back when everything is done. Before that, I remember that I promised to show you how the trees look like, and there was an error that was shouted out to me. So inside here I have to say bird and not background item, because we have a separate class for the bird. Right, so I guess if we play this now it should work, but I'm never sure. We had an interesting bug a couple of weeks. It was not phaser, it was by JavaScript. So we wrote a fairly complicated algorithm on graph theory, and what happened was that it worked and it was fine, right? So we tested it with a couple of graphs. He's laughing now because it was him that did it. So yeah, we had this. Yeah, it was working fine, right? No errors, no anything. It was calculating this complicated thing correctly, right? We tested it with a couple of graphs. On the next day, the morning, we got an error, and it didn't calculate anything. We just got an error which was like really random, like cannot read property something of undefined, right? Which is the most common thing that you ever see in JavaScript. And we were wondering, so we started backtracking, did we commit at the end of the day and so on, and we did actually, and it just didn't work, and it took us probably about 3 hours to fix an error, which was fine. Yeah, okay, there was an error, right? We had to we had to make a deep copy of some object that we didn't do it this way. We copied it by reference, and it was mixing things up. But the interesting thing was that it was working the previous day, right? So you never know, weird things happen with JavaScript. So yeah, there it is. our tree. And we have a second one and another one, and this one is smaller, this one is bigger, and they move slightly slower because they're further at the back. Is there anything that you want to change? Maybe how often they spawn, or how big they are? Anything that you see that you want to change, or you think it's fine? It's fine or not. Anyways, if you wanna change the balancing of the game at some point, just shout out and say, I don't like this, and we will go and change some magical numbers. Someone is laughing there. Is there any reason, or
Maybe
should be more separate? All right, this can be fixed very, very quickly. So we go into the RNG spawn time, and inside here, if I say RNG between how many and how many seconds do you think it would be nice? 3 and 8. Okay, let's put 3 and 8. I was thinking of something similar, but so magical number 3 and 8. Let me refresh again so that we know that it's fine. So play, and we should see less trees. So the first one always spawns this way, but after that, it'll be a while before others spawn. So at least 3 seconds we should have between spawning of trees. Okay, this is better. Alright, I think it's better as well. Alright, so now I pause and I'll do the other 2 methods. So here. Right, so before I show you the methods, there was one thing here that we missed. So this dot blood thrown has to be false. So it was like this. Sorry, no, this is 5. It was like this. And this caused it to spawn many times when the bird was from 0 to 100. So yeah. So with this, Control Z. With this, we make sure that it's gonna spawn only once, the blood and the feathers. Right. So let's get into level 2, and I'll show you the changes that we made. So this is the rocks method, and right. So this is the same. This line, we have the random rock spawn time, which is from 1 to 3 seconds, since it's closer to the foreground, and it's a part of the platform or the ground. So I think more is better. Since we have 2 types of rocks, I just pick one at random, so it's either 1 or 2. And then I spawn a random rock here, so it's the prefix rock plus the number of the image. And if you see in my preloader, I've added them this way. So where is rock? Rock 1 and rock 2. So what I do is I keep this part, and I add either 1 or 2 to see which one to spawn. So let's get back in here. What else is different? Here pretty much nothing is different. With the bird, oh yeah, and this thing moves at a speed 8, so is the same as the ground, which is slightly faster than the trees. Right. Okay, let's see the bird. So nothing special here. We just spawn it slightly less often. It's faster because it's flying, we spawn it higher up, so at the top right of the screen. We add it to the group, push it, and everything here is pretty much the same. Right, I wanted to show you something and I forgot. So I wanted to show you what happens if we put a speed of the parallaxing background, which is different, which is not divisible by the width. But first, let's have a look at all of the elements that we've added. And how does it work? So the bird, clearly, so it spawns some feathers and blood. Currently, there's something wrong with the gravity, but I remember that I've made the feathers to fall down slower. But I guess we'll fix that, or I'll see how to fix that in one of the next lectures. Then we added the rocks, which are here. So this is rock number 1, rock number 1, still is the first one. Now we have the bigger one again, and so on. And they're random in scale as well. I don't remember if I've made them random, in rotation or flipping horizontally, but we can do that as well, and they're going to look slightly more different. But for now, I think this is fine. I think they look random enough. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now I want to show you, and it's going to be very clearly visible with the background, with the ground here. But let's check. So this is the ground, and 1280 is our width, and clearly 8 divides this number, I think, yeah. But if I put something that doesn't, something like 11, I think, or 7, there should be a gap. Yes, question. Sorry? Okay. 11, I think. Oh no, this is the grass. So this was 8. We want to do it with the floor. So something like 11. And if I'm not mistaken, you will see a small gap in between the platforms once they start. So yeah, you see it here? It's a smallish gap. Do you see it? Yeah, so what happens is that you don't move it straight on the edge. So let me find a place to draw. Remember that if this is our screen, we had two backgrounds, and one is moving, and as soon as it gets to the end, where is my mouse? All right. So we have the background, which is here, okay, and as soon as it touches, this line, as soon as it goes outside of the screen, then we want to move it, okay. But what's gonna happen if I don't put a number which is divisible by 1280? In this case, it's that it's gonna move slightly further out in the last step before we actually move it to the front, and this is what creates this smallish gap here. So yeah, please bear that in mind. I was looking for this bug for quite a while, and I think it's a pretty common one, but once you see it once, then there is no way to get it mixed up a second time, I think. All right, so now we have the two levels, which are working fine, and I want to make it so that it's very, very easy to go from one level to the other. And this is going to be a method of the game, which is going to be called trigger level. So let me write that down, but first I would like to check if everything that I've done up here is fine. So I need to have current level, which is of type level 1, level 2, killer collection, in the create. Okay, so we create level 1, we create level 2, this way, then we have killer collection. Oh yeah, there was one other bug that I wanted to fix, so let me refresh that again. There was one other bug that I wanted to fix. So if you notice, the bird is coming on top of the saw, and I want it to go at the back, right? Because otherwise it doesn't look believable. So to do that, I think somewhere in here, I'm not saying bring to top of the killer collection, or am I? I actually am, but I'm not saying this for the bird. So how can I fix this? We added to the level group. I don't know, why is this not working? So let me go into level 2. What's gonna happen if I just copy this? This doesn't make much sense though. Where is my bird? It's here. I added to level group. Level group should be behind the killer collection, but I don't know why is it not working. So let me try that. Actually no, it's not gonna work this way, so I have to say bird dot sprite. And we have an error. Tree is not defined. Yeah, I have to refresh again, I guess. So play, and interesting. bird. Okay, where is this error? Let's trace it. Tree is not defined. Why is this so zoomed in? Actually, I didn't want to do this. Where's my console? Tree is not defined. Okay, where? Alright. Okay, it's working now. So, weird. I would say that this is quite weird. Because, these are two separate groups, and I'm already saying in the game, after I create, all of the groups, I say, well, bring this specific group to top. And for some reason, the bird, which is a part of the level 2 group, for some reason it stays at the top of the source. So anyways, I was checking whether everything that I've done is fine. So let's do this level 1 now, and just let me pause and I'll look through my notes and see what I have to add here. Right, so I think everything is fine here actually, and so now we want to have a method which is going to be trigger level, and we're only going to test it since we don't have the logic of killing butchers and so on. So yeah, the idea is to fade the current level to white, sort of like a blink, and then it's gonna fade into white, and then change to the other state as we go. So after the complete of the animation, I think I didn't explain this very well, but yeah, let's see. So var game tween equals this dot game dot add tween. And what we want to add is everything. So I want to tween the alpha of the whole group or of the whole world to 1. So I need to add this dot game dot world, and this is going to automatically set the alpha of everything to 1. So let's do the tween. So game tween dot 2, and I want to say alpha 0 actually. 0, yeah, it's 0. I want to fade out, not put it to 1. It's already at 1. So this is going to be alpha 0. Time is going to be very short, 200 phaser.easing .default. And here we have auto start true, delay 0, repeat 0, and yo-yo true. So what I want to do is fades out, so everything fades out to a white screen, and it's gonna yo-yo, which means that it's gonna get back to alpha 1. But what I want to do in the middle, so when the alpha is actually 0, then I want to change the level so that it's not that easily seen. So yeah, let's do that now. So game tween dot on loop dot add, and inside here I want to add this lambda, which is gonna be, actually I have nothing here, so let's just write it. It's gonna be if this dot current level equals this dot level 1. So if it's level 1, I want to do one thing. If it's level 2, I want to do another thing, which means which ones to fade in or fade out. So yeah, let's do it in here. First I want to change the level. This dot current level equals this dot level 2. After that I want to say this dot game dot world dot bring to top. Now I just want to change the order. So remember, I am drawing all of the levels in the same screen, in the same canvas, and the only thing that I want to change, okay, so one is visible, then it becomes invisible, and I want to put the other one at the top of the other one. Sorry, the second one at the top of the first one. So this is what we do here. So bring to top, and this is going to be this dot level 2 dot level group. Just a second. This dot game dot world dot bring to top. This dot killer collection dot killer group. And here I have, do I have a top group here? No, I don't. So at a later stage there will be like score and stuff like that. So the cow, I think, so they're always on top, and I'll have a separate group here that I also have to change the order of, but I'm not gonna add it now since I don't have it now. Okay, and I want to say also this dot game. Actually, I don't know why am I saying this. I think that is fine here. Right, else, meaning if it's the second level. I don't know why I have this. This dot current level equals this dot level 1. This dot, and the rest two are pretty much the same, so I'll just copy those. The only thing that I have to change here is level 1. I want to bring level 1 to top. And is there anything else that I want to do? So this is my, where do I close this bracket? Here I want to set the context to this. And hopefully we are pretty much done with this. So let me add it on click. Let me comment these. So this was when clicking we just spawn blood and feathers and whatnot. So right now here I want to say this dot trigger level, and hopefully if everything is fine when we click we are gonna change the level of the game. And so after some time or some butcher kills, then we can just, you know, say trigger level and it's going to change the level. Maybe we can add some difficulty to it and so on. We'll see. Okay, and this is a problem. So now we changed it to level 2. Now we change it to level 1, level 2, level 1. But at first we didn't have anything. The default level should be level 1, I guess. And let's see what's happening here. This dot level 1, and I want to say this dot game dot world dot bring to top. This dot level 1 dot level group, so that it's, so we start, the default start is going to be on top. And I could have just, I think I could have just changed the order of these, but it will not make much sense to the reader. Why do I do this? So yeah, just add this line here and hopefully that should be fine. Yeah, everything is fine. Now when I click, we have the bird. I think everything works fine. See how now it's like in a straight line. This time it was very close to 0 the RNG, but we can, you know, it just goes differently. Okay, do you want to change some of the values so that I can show you for the bird, this math function with the sign, what each thing does, or are you fine with my explanations? It's going to be better if the bird is also rotated. What do you mean? All right, I see what you mean. Okay, I will think on it, because I don't think I can do this right now unless you have a fresh idea, and it's gonna be fiddly with you know, all of these constants and so on. So let me think on it and I'll try to do it next time. Okay, I'll try to add it. I think I know how to do it. It's very similar to the stake, but I will have to see. So the anchor is at 0.5, 0.5, and I think it's gonna work. Okay. Yeah, just change it, but I want to fiddle with some value so that it looks nice as well, and it's connected to the amplitude of the movement as well. So I don't think I can do this in about 10 minutes. So I'll just do it next time. So yeah, this is a good idea. So we want the bird to be facing down as it goes down, and up as it goes up. So there's just gonna be a rotation, but I need to combine it with the current movement and amplitude, which is right here in the bird. So we need to combine it with these values somehow so that it doesn't look weird, and it also is going to be very fast the way the bird is moving now. So I just need to play around with some values, and then I'll probably add it next time. Okay, so that was it for today. Do you have any questions? No? Okay, I'll be uploading this on source tree. Sorry, on Bitbucket, so you can see the changes from last time. Yeah. Question. Yeah. Key. This is the name of the sprite that we're adding. Bird here. Because all right. So what happens if we have? So yeah, the question is, why do we have key here when I could simply say, well, bird. This is the bird. Okay. But what's gonna happen if I have actually a couple of birds? Right. If I have bird 1, bird 2, bird 3, and so on. They all what you're saying that they all have to have the same animation. Well, yeah, if you make a bird, it you would assume that it's gonna have 10 frames, but if not, so yeah, you would assume like they would be similar because they are similar in the game, but they will have just different pictures. But the animation here is for this specific sprite. Okay, so if I add bird 2, it's gonna have again the animation is gonna be called fly, but it's gonna be for this specific bird, for this specific sprite. So that's not gonna be a problem. But if it has different different frames, then you just add this to the constructor. Right now, the way it's done, if someone gives me a bird, a sprite sheet of a bird, I will tell them to be 10 frames. If they want to make it more, then I'll add my corrections to the class. So yeah, it's it's just there is no reason to over abstract things unless you need to, I guess. Right. I wanted to say something. Okay. So yeah, next time we'll be doing the cow with the buttons. So it's gonna be an interesting lecture with a lot of cool things with the cow. So we'll do jumping, double jumping, throwing knives, shooting shotguns, and throwing grenades and so on. That's for next time. So we'll do all of that. The cow, the buttons, the text, how the text of the button changes, and so on. All of that we'll do next time. And the one after that we'll do the butcher, and I guess after that some finishing touches like adding platforms, game over screens, and so on. So we have 3 or 4 more lectures, I think. Unless you have any more questions, I will see you on Monday.